What's up, my honeys? It's KingBritneyChanel and I'm back with yet another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what we could all learn from the Kevin Samuels situation, okay? If you like these sort of videos, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up, share the video, and let's get started. All right, y'all. So let me start off by, being a little bit sensitive, okay? Because while it is unfortunate to this man's fam that he has went on, okay, from what everybody is saying, from the reports and everything, that is what, is being put out there, okay? Or alleged, right? That's what happened to him or whatever. So I want to be sensitive to the fact that that is an unfortunate situation, probably for his family. I want to more so get into, so I do feel for anybody that has had a loved one that they love go on, okay? So let's just put that out there, okay? I'm making this video for educational purposes and really to help Zion, to help Israel, and, my people that watch me, to learn from Kevin Samuels' content, okay? Y'all know I am not a Kevin Samuels stan or supporter. I've made plenty of videos about Kevin Samuels and about why I was not necessarily feeling Kevin Samuels and Kevin Samuels content, right? So my main points that I made about the Kevin Samuels content was you have to learn how to keep your mouth, okay? And I mentioned that Kevin Samuels was playing a very serious situation with him, okay, when it came to idolatry, because these men, they were worshiping every word he said. They were calling this man the Godfather. I mean, y'all seen, it was even some dude that made a video about me because they were so engulfed in this content of having extreme, I'm gonna say this, extreme dislike for women. And I told y'all back in the first video that I did about the glitch, the so-called glitch, I said that Kevin Samuels, I felt, was creating content that replicated the serpent's hate for Israel, right? Because how did Yah describe that situation? Yah described it as the serpent had a level of enmity for the woman, because the woman would come forth and birth the Messiah. So I look at it like he was creating that dragon that wanted to destroy the woman type of content. That's what I truly believe. And the reason that I believe this, which I'm gonna play some clips from Kevin Samuels' content. All right, so this first clip I'm gonna share with y'all is him advocating for men being with men. So listen closely.
I'm saying we need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do.
So how is that bringing marriages between men and women together if you're advocating for men being with men? And if that's your lifestyle choice, that's your lifestyle choice. I'm talking about the fact that he does these shows where he literally tears down the women and tells the women that they need to do this, and this is whatever. But then you're also on the same shows advocating for men being with men. So to me, it seemed like the agenda the whole time was the serpent agenda, like I've been telling y'all, for him to groom these men to be into men.
The women don't fear what Sean Connery told Barbara Walters. There are times when the best course of action is to slap a woman. The women...
What you just heard was him instructing, that, sometimes you just need to go ahead and just pop a woman. Okay? So, all of this is wickedness, y'all. So, this next clip that I'm about to play for y'all is where he's instructing women to give it up on the first date.
If you were interested in someone, what would be the time frame for that? So
if you were interested in somebody, okay, let's answer that question. If you were interested in somebody sexually?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're interested in somebody sexually, what should be the time frame before you have sex?
Yes, you're saying somebody is old coochie credit is on the first
date one.
Date one?
That's how demonic is that? Anybody that is righteous is not in support of nobody telling nobody to give themselves, especially women, to give themselves on date one. Like, first of all, just all kind of spiritual things that could happen, like you mortgaging off your destiny doing that, all kind of stuff with you messing with the wrong type of people spiritually. Like, people think that relations is just you having relations or doing the do, and it's a spiritual act. So it's like you either gain power or you're losing some things, and soul ties are real. A lot of people don't get it, but again, this is why in this video I'm explaining to y'all the spiritual principles, because if you violate a spiritual law, then spirits have legal rights and access to you. Like, people that typically struggle with basically messing with a whole bunch of different people and having all these soul ties, a lot of those people suffer from the spirit of poverty, all kind of witchcraft and stuff that they deal with, delayed marriage, anti-marriage, all kind of stuff that they deal with. So this is just unrighteous that he's even telling women to do that. And the fact that the Most High instructs women to be chaste in the first place. It's just, or just not even just women, because it can apply to men also, to not just give yourself so freely. Like, you are supposed to be married for a reason, because it creates a hedge of protection with your covenant being between the Most High and then you and your spouse. But when you go outside of that, it's giving legal access to those spirits that want to steal and destroy, basically. So this next one, y'all, is he's instructing men to cheat. So it's men confronting him, but he's instructing men to cheat.
That I disagree with, which is on topic, is just giving a high value man like a green card to cheat, saying like it's okay for him to exercise his option.
Said that. What he chooses to do, as long as he's taking care of home, is none of your business. If he's providing a lifestyle that 90+% of women could only dream of, you need to be quiet.
What I don't know won't hurt me.
No, what you know will get you being what you know will get you a.
So this is the type of instruction.
And you guys gotta understand, high value or whatever, you cheat, you gotta understand you cannot embarrass your woman. No outside kids, no divorces, no embarrassments. Those are the rules. Yes.
So all of this is what this man has been saying on his platform. And all of this, we know, people being adulterous, we know that has led to poverty in the community that is Israelite. Okay, when I say Israelite, I'm talking about so-called black people, but not all so-called black people. We know what that causes. It causes poverty when you don't have divine marriages that are ordained by the Most High Yah, we know the turmoil it causes. You got these women out here on a hot girl summers because there's no headship in the house, and the women are having to work harder and just in a role that they were not designed to do, which causes issues like, health wise, and amongst a bunch of spiritual things also. Then you got the men who, like I said, a lot of these men that sit up on this platform listening to this type of stuff, you do have righteous men that they were calling Kevin Samuels out for this foolish stuff. So I'm not talking about them. But a lot of men that sit up on these platforms, like the Kevin Samuels platform, were men that oftentimes are into basically being, buck broken, effeminized. Because any righteous man could clearly see, how are any of these tips setting me up for success? If anything, is setting the person up for failure. Instructing how to cheat, like you know where that's going to lead to. Multiple homes where you're not there for the children are raised in the same cycle of single in the single parent household. You can't be there to protect the children in different households. A lot of these men don't make the type of income he was talking about on these channels. Just instructing men, advocating for men to be with men, and we know that a man and a woman have to be together to be fruitful and multiply. God didn't ask, did you think about doing that? It was commanded for you to do that. So it's kind of like everything that was of the Most High, he put everything out that was contrary to the word of the Most High Yah. Committing adultery, fornication, all kind of stuff he was promoting, which is pure wickedness. But I also want to play for y'all a clip of the prophetic part, because I warned these men about getting into agreement and the power of agreement with those word curses that Kevin Samuels kept putting out. He kept speaking this fool-la-la out of his mouth, and we know the Most High Yah is not mocked. Okay? On this channel, plenty of times y'all have seen me send forth warnings to different content creators, to different people about stuff that they do. And y'all have seen, like I put out, with different content creators, past videos so that y'all can listen to what I said, and then you seen what came forth. So this is kind of what I'm doing now. I mentioned him in those word curses because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The Most High Yah, he teaches us to keep our mouth, because life and unalive is in the power of your tongue. Okay? So whatever you speak, that is going to come forth. Now, let me also explain to y'all spiritual law, because a lot of people are ignorant to spiritual law, and ignorance is no excuse of the law, honey. The law is going to apply to you whether you free or bond. You in the world, or you a part of Jacob, which is my culture, a part of Israelite culture. The Torah still going to apply to you. That universal law is still going to apply. So let's explain what the law is. The moment that you set your hands to evil, you are giving legal access for the enemy to breach. And I think a lot of people, they do not fear the Most High Yah. Like, I fear my Father. I fear him in a reverential way, because you got to think all powerful, all knowing, right? And he's the one that can give permission. Like, y'all think about the Job situation, right? Job, faithful servant to the Most High Yah, and the enemy went to Yah, because the enemy is the accuser of the brethren. So in the court of heaven, basically, the enemy is like, he wouldn't be saying all this good stuff about you, Most High, if you wasn't blessing him. Y'all remember that in the word? Y'all remember that? That y'all are seeing is the law. So basically, the Most High have to give permission to these spirits for them to even come and touch you. But in order for the permission to be granted, the permission is Yah's law, which never returns void, right? He has his laws that if you keep it, these are the blessings. If you don't follow them, these are the curses that come behind it, right? So you putting your hands to do wickedness, evil, or you speaking word curses, you whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap, right? And it's like also, thou shalt not have any other gods before me. Yah cannot stand idolatry, and you definitely ain't about to set no person up as no altar and think he not about to tear it down, okay? Think about Dagon, okay? Think about Yah just tearing down idols in the scripture, in the Torah, okay? So think about what I'm telling y'all. So I mentioned before that Kevin Samuels on his channel would constantly put out word curses onto people, saying that women over a certain age were left over, and you know, a certain age they was gonna hit the wall, and that women was gonna, you know, die alone or whatever. So a lot of men got into agreement with that stupidity, because those are word curses. When you are never to put yourself in a place where you think you are the author and the finisher of somebody's faith or somebody's life. You don't know their fate. You don't know their destiny. So you speaking like you are in a position of authority that you are not will get you caught up. That's why Yah constantly tells you to keep your mouth. You got to keep your mouth, because your mouth can get you into trouble, right? Like you could speak something and it could happen. So, but also, like I said, whatever a man soweth, so he tried to sow that seed of, like I said, extreme dislike, hate for women. He tried to put that seed out there for men to get into agreement with that, right? So let me play a little bit of the clip of me explaining. All right, y'all. So in this video, I was explaining about the word curses and things like that. So I'm gonna play a part of the clip, and this is in the addressing the Kevin Samuels effect. And ladies who are on these channels where these men are bashing you, and they're saying stuff like you'll be single forever and that sort of thing, or like how Kevin Samuels told that lady she was gonna go on to the glory alone. You need to renounce those word curses. You simply do it by the following: I do not receive that. I cancel those words. I cancel delayed marriages. I render those words null and void and impotent in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's what you say. In the name, if you call Yah by his name, okay, and say, I do not receive that. I decree and I declare that I shall marry. And any curses or word curses that are sent at me, or arrows that have been sent to me, let them be rendered impotent and return to sender. Let the person in the hole and what they want for me be their portion in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's how you send that back right over there. Exactly. So if a man diggeth a pit, they're going to fall in that. So that's how that spiritual principle and spiritual law works. So you thinking that you saying, oh, this person is going to be single and alone. The enemy is like, okay, so you trying to get into agreement with this, right? And you always have to pay up when you go to the enemy to try to put stuff out there. Like if you go on other people, if you go to the enemy trying to put curses on other people or digging holes for other people, you, by the law, have to fall in that pit that you dug for that person. Okay? That's how it works. Word curses are witchcraft. You are not permitted to be out there trying to put word curses and speak word curses on people. Okay? Because let me tell you something. There's no enchantments against Jacob, right? So let's say, I don't care how a young lady or whoever is living, right? If somebody or a young man is living, if that person belongs to the Most High, right? There is divine protection. Now, this doesn't mean that you could live any type of way, but like I'm saying, some people are chosen. Some people they belong to the Most High God. Those are His children. Okay, daughters include. Let me say it for the men in the back. Daughters included, and like any good father, a father is going to protect his daughters, because women being the weaker vessel and the melanated woman, which I'm not even going to say melanated, because there's some people that are melanated that are Edom. So let me be clear about this. Israelite women are out here, and their protection is the Most High Yah, of course. But you could clearly see it's a lot of, I would say, spiritual warfare that is going after them. Like on Kevin Samuel's channel, you literally will, like, I literally heard this man talk about how men need to be advocating for men being with men, and men need to be on an island with just men and all kind of bugged out stuff, or something to that tune. All kind of stuff, like, or just men should be able to pop women in the mouth if they talking too much. So all of this is, I'm like, not Torah. He claims that, he was trying to help get people put marriages together, but all of these things contradict that, right? Yah wants you to be fruitful, multiply. Yah is not about dissension and chaos. He wants man and woman to complement each other and to have divine marriages that He puts together that no man is able to separate, right? Let no man separate that. So this man sowed all these seeds, and people talk about, like, I literally seen some foolishness where, like, you had men talking about women are celebrating this man, going on. And I'm gonna put the scripture up here that if a person is wicked, the righteous can rejoice over that if they perish, okay? And this is just pure wickedness, like sowing seeds for gender wars, for men that just want to be with other men. And I'm talking about, look, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm talking about my culture and what the Torah say, okay? This is my culture, and I'm going to stand on righteousness. What the man was putting out was wickedness. He had men trying to repeat these word curses onto women, all kind of foolishness. And I feel like what we can learn from this situation is to learn how to keep our mouth and to learn how to not put our hand to wickedness, and always kind of reflect on what you're saying. Do not wish negativity onto other people. Like, don't get into witchcraft or put your hands to do any witchcraft, because I'm going to tell y'all something else that a lot of people do not realize too. When you do wickedness, not only do you pay, but if you do go on that, your children and your children's children end up paying the price for that. Because y'all like, I'm going to get my payment. I'm going to get my payment. And if you don't believe me, Deuteronomy 28. Go ahead and read the whole chapter of that, right? We literally were not there when our forefathers decided to do certain wickedness, right? But yet we paid the price via slavery, racial situations, You know, people having like a perpetual kind of hatred toward us because of who we are and who we belong to. And do not get it twisted. Like, just because somebody is melanated, that, like I said, that does not mean that that person is Israel. Like, so don't try to gauge that by a person's color and stuff like that. Like, it's that's a whole nother video though. But you kind of got to watch that, because just like a lot of people be looking to try to see who their enemy is, and they think because the person coming in a package that look kind of similar to them, they buy into what they're saying. And this is kind of what this man to me represented. Like, I mean, these guys literally were worshiping this dude, calling him, these is grown men calling this man the Godfather. And you know how angry that probably made the Most High Yah. In the second part, I feel like what made him upset was that all of the dissension that was coming, like none of that advice was probably, I don't feel at all good advice. Of course, you know, people are like, oh, well, you know, it was some delusional women, but you are not, like I said, people have to be careful that they don't set their own self up to try to be a deity or God, where they try to decipher what's gonna, or try to make proclamations about what is going to happen with a person's destiny or fate, and you're speaking negativity about it, right? Don't tell a woman that she gonna hit the wall if she a certain age. Like, you don't know what Yah has set up for that person, right? If you look at a bunch of our forefathers, certain stuff in their life didn't happen until they were a certain age. A lot of different stuff, for whatever divine reason, happened for them at certain ages, like, you know, have given birth or whatever. And it's like, you know, people overcome different things like generational curses and stuff like that, that have stuff to do with why they are accomplishing things or maybe not accomplishing things. But you don't put yourself in the God seat and think that you're gonna just no, play your role. Stop getting in agreement with these wicked men that are not really into women anyway. And I'm just not into it, y'all. Like, I'm not into it. I'm not into people promoting preferences and to try to undermine the relationships that are supposed to be being put together between the Israelite man and the Israelite woman. And y'all, I've been a little vocal about that on my Mocha Modesty channel, where I talked about how the Most High even had to instill in me a love again for the Israelite man, because of everything they do in society to keep the Israelite man and the Israelite woman away from each other. You feel what I'm saying? Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video. And if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.